Hello, let's play a bunch of daily word games, and I got a request to play Murdle, so let's play that. I'm going to start with alive for that. All right. Let's move that E around. Let's get some really good letters. TRN are the good ones. Trend, I guess, works really well. All right, we got a TRE on the left. Let's guess the right word then, get as much info as we can. I thought of might, but there's no T on the right, so I can't guess that. Or I could, but it would actually be pretty good guess, but it wouldn't be an possible answer. I like to go for answers here. What can I do then? I'm not sure where this I is going. Fishy. Fishy. Let's do fishy. Oh my gosh, nothing from fishy, both sides. All right, so let's move this I to the fourth spot. Probably do something like another vowel here, like OI. I'm running out of letters here. What do I do? It doesn't look good, does it? I can't see a word. Struggle here. We could start with like I something or end in I. Does that help me? Maybe if I look at this left word, maybe that'll help. I think it's an ER word, so we should be careful here. Something like meter might be good for that. If there's an OTER, voter, can't do voter. I think that helps because I just want to know if there's an O on the right word. Or if there's a UTER, muter. It would accept that. I don't think it would be the answer, but it tests meter as well. Sure. Oh, it's not even ER. Oh, there's a U second. Okay, so U second, that helps me. Maybe that probably means I fourth or fifth. Almost certainly. I guess we could do QUI. Like quick. Oh, darn. Okay, now I have to get both answers correct. I think this is cubic. Please be cubic. Yes. And then the left. Let's take a look. So T being second seems unlikely because I'd have to start with O or E. Let's see, there's an R. Let's see, that puts the R here. TRE. Etra. I don't like that. So could we start with R maybe? R is here or here. E is definitely here. There's a T maybe at the end. Oh, why can't I think of this word? T can't go where I put those R's. TR, yeah, I looked at this. It seems reasonable, but I can't see a word. So I don't think it's that. So I think the T has to go at the end. We're ending in ET. And then it's either like RET or R something something ET. Egret. I think it's egret, which is a bird. There we go. Wow, I pulled that out of nowhere. I did not think I was going to win this one. I do lose Dordle a lot, so it wouldn't be surprising to lose. But wow, I pulled out a win. That's great. All right, let's move on. Let's do Fibble. So each guess has a lie in it. So maybe this A should have been green or yellow, or maybe this green should have been gray or yellow. We don't know. So one of these is lying. I like to end in RY here and then keep one of the other grays. So I'm sure there's something I can do there. Something like carry, I think, is a good idea. That double R can catch some neat lies too. So let's do that. Oh, and I need to make sure hard mode's on. Okay, it let me turn it on because I was still hard mode. That's good. Okay, so we have what's called an X-wing. At least I call it an X-wing. Because you can kind of draw an X between these, right? So there's one line between these R's, right? In fact, let's look at carry alone for a second also. We know one of these R's is lying. because you can't color gray yellow. That just is not a valid coloring, which means either this R is lying or this R is lying. And I can tell you that means that these are telling the truth. Well, if these are telling the truth, that means this Y is lying, meaning that this R should have been green, which means it's lying, and then we just have a green R there and nothing else. So that was neat. But we also had the X-wing that we already knew that these couldn't be lying, so that was neat. So just an R here. That's all we have. Maybe RE. Like store is a really good guess. Ooh. Okay, so we know this is telling the truth. Is it possible that we're ST something RE? We can't be stare. We can't be store. I don't think it's possible. So we need to do a little bit less of a convenient lie. What about something? Okay, Stern wouldn't have a lie in store is the problem. How about S something ER something? Is there a word for that? I could try omitting the E. If I omit the E, I do STUR. That doesn't seem like that's a word. Okay, so I think omitting the T is the way to go. SE something or S something ER? SE something R? Because T second is tough without an S before it. Huh. Either that S or T is there in place. Can't have both lying. This feels like the best option, but I can't think how to finish it. Slurb. Slurb. Slurp is spelled with a U. That would require 2 lies in store. What is going on here? All right, I'm gonna look at the T here then. And then we already looked at ST, so we would need the E somewhere. What would go before that T? Either an E or a U, I think, would be the only options. I don't like either of those. ET something R? Weird. What am I missing? Uter. Etter. Etor. Yeah, I don't like it. So S. Maybe we're like S something ERT. Or SETR. CRT. I'm going to guess Sears, just for something to guess, and hopefully this will give me some information. Ooh, okay. So we know this R is correct. What else did we learn? We really didn't learn much, did we? Here's something I'm thinking about. How could this E be true? Or, hold on. This E can't be lying, I don't think. If this E was lying, it would be lying as gray, and then we wouldn't have anywhere to put an E. Unless this E was lying and we're supposed to end in E. But then we would be ST something RE, and that doesn't work. Yeah, so I think this E is truthful. I think it has to be truthful. I don't know if that's quite solid logic, but it feels right to me. I think this E has to be lying then, because it has nowhere to go. Because again, if this E is lying, we're ST something RE, and that's no good. So I think this E is the lie, which I think means the T is the lie here. So I think we are S something ER. So that's at least what we learned. We can focus on this word. It's not SH, it's not ST. It could be SP, spurt. I mean, all of these are E, right? Spurt is with an E. Sorry, with a U, sorry. SN, snur something, or swir, or slur. See, again, slurp is with a U. Snur, smur. What if it was C or and then another letter at the end? I just don't know what else we would put there. S-K-E-R doesn't look good. Like, what are we putting there? S-U-E-R? No. Sewer. Smur? Smirk. That's with an I. But it accepted it. Okay, so at least we get some info. So if we think these are right, then that means this M's lying. Probably it has to be. Yeah. So we're still just S-E-R, and so no M or P. What am I missing about this word? I hate when I just can't think of the word. Unfortunately, we haven't necessarily proven exactly what I've colored, but I think it's right. Certainly reinforcing it. Okay, let's again, what goes between that S and the R? So S-Q-E-R, no way. S-W-E-R, swirl is with an I, and it won't accept that. If it accepts it, I'm happy, because then I might get some information. We can't do S-T. S-U-E-R, I just don't see a word. S-P-E-R, spurn or something. Oh, there we go. Found it. Sperm. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that took me a while to think of. All right, let's move on. Let's play Betweenle. Start with Lucky. Ooh, we're pretty close to the end. 6% away from the end of the alphabet. So, like, where maybe? Ooh, a little bit further. I think we are a W word though. So let's try a W-A to confirm that. Like wave, like a waver. You're waving. Okay, so we might start with V then. Like volley. Oh, that's EY. Darn. Valley. No, valley's EY. I think it's something else. What word starts with V? Verse. Okay, so we do start with V, probably VI or VO. Well, vouch. Ooh, okay, so I think VI is good. What would be, like, vivid? Okay, VI... video. Okay, so we're between vivid and video. Vigil. Okay, not far enough. Viper. No, close to Viper. Is it VIP? I don't think it can be VIP. So VIN. Oh, how about VIO? Viola. No. Is it VIN then? Vin. Is veneer a word like that? No. Viner? Okay. Late VIN. Oh no, I'm almost out of guesses. Holy cow. I haven't lost this game in a long time. I'm not planning on losing. 3 guesses. Is it vinyl? It's vinyl. Oh, that word is so hard because I always think it's VYN, not VIN. Wow, yeah, this was one of the harder Betweenles for sure. How'd you do on this one? All right, let's do word 500. I'm going to start with vinyl. That's fun. All red, perfect. We love all reds in word 500. I don't know, something like stare is pretty good. Okay, green and 2 yellows. So now we have to actually figure out. I'm going to think we ended in E, and then the yellows could be like A and R, because then I could do like, ooh, actually, no. Maybe not the A then. S or, so I want to put the R second, end in E. I could do like a TE. How about wrote? That works well. Ooh, 3 greens and a yellow. So I think I got the E right. I got the R right. I think I got the T right. And so it would be like, oh, actually, because then we can't be like RW. Yeah, this wouldn't be it. So we'd be OR something TE. And that doesn't work. There's not a word for that. So I got something wrong. So I think I got the E right. I think let's start there. And that means I did not get both RT correct. So that means one of RT is the red in here, which means W and O are in the word. Right, we can only have one red in wrote, and if I didn't actually get the TR correct, what if the T was yellow though? What if we did this? Oh, that's reasonable. Yeah, okay. I didn't think about that case, but this case is perfectly reasonable. So it's something like trope. Yeah, okay. Phew. Didn't have to go back to the drawing board after all. I made the T green when I shouldn't have. I should have made the O green. Gotcha. Yeah, and TR makes a whole lot of sense. Cool. Trope and 4, not bad. How'd you do on that one? Let's continue to polygonal. We have hexpert on. All right, this letter just repeats 3 times. That's it. So I like something like SSES or DEDDED. Let's look at SSES first. So we can't do dresses because that would repeat the E, and the E, we know the E doesn't repeat there. It doesn't repeat anywhere in this case. So what should I do? Like, this isn't how you spell chassis. It accepts it. Oh, okay. So it does end in ASSES. Classes, no. Grasses? Wow, it is grasses. Weird. Have I ever said grasses in my life? I thought grass was just the plural of grass. Oh, different kinds of grasses. Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, I get it. Cool. Yeah, I was right. It's like SSES or DDED. There's one EEZE, which is crazy. Squeeze. Oh, that would be a fun one. Trusses. I think I almost thought of trusses, but I didn't do it. All right, let's do the mini. These repeat, so start is what I do for that. Good start. All right. Maybe this is an R. We could be like a dryer type word. All right, RIE. Let's take it. So is it IOR? Prior? Oh, that's fun. Okay, cool. Nice and quick. Let's move on to Symble. Start with Blaze. It's really tempting to try an L. No, it's not that tempting to try LZE. It's tempting to try a BA word. So let's do that. Something like brass. Okay, so now we have to interpret the symbols correctly here. So, oh, interesting. So I think because of the number of red suns we got in this second guess, you know, could it still be BRA something S? Let's not roll that out quite yet. Brags or something? I'm going to guess Brags. I don't think Brags would be an answer, but I think it'll give us a lot of info here. Same result. So yeah, so I think this is a fake trap, right? You can keep trying BRA something S's until you run out of things you can guess, and none of them are going to be right. Because the red sun is not the in-place slot. So I think we don't have the in-place slot color yet. I think that the red sun is the none of those slot, right? So Brags, none of the letters in Brags or Brass or Blaze are where the red suns go in those particular guesses. So I think that the green infinity is another letter from the word goes there. I usually call that yellow, but I'm trying to move away from the Wordle wording because it doesn't work the same as Wordle. So basically, this second, fourth, and fifth slot need to be a letter in blaze. But also this fourth slot needs to also be a letter in brass and brags. So the fourth slot is a letter that's common between blaze, brass, and brag. So it's an A or a B. I'm thinking probably A just because A is more common there than B by a lot. So if that's the A, this last letter probably is the L, right? Because we'd have to end with a B, L, or Z. And obviously with an A there, we're going to end with an L. And then the second letter here needs to also be in blaze. Can't be the B or A because these would also have then included there. Can't be the B, A, probably not the Z. So it's probably the E. So we're like a something E, A, L. Now we have to use all new letters otherwise. We can't do something like regal or renal. We could do penal. There we go. So that is our green symbol, our symbol that means in the same slot. I'm trying to move away from Wordle terminology, but it's hard. So EAL there. These are all correct in their slot. So now we just need different letters here. So it was EAL, just not penal. What else can we do? Fetal. There we go. Okay, the answer was fetal. Cool. That was interesting. I didn't have to guess brags, and I don't think I learned anything really new by guessing brags. I was already suspecting at that point that the green infinity was our out of place slot. So cool. Got it in 5. Could have gotten it in 4. Didn't really learn anything from brags. Anyway, let's move on. Let's do blind fusel. So let's start with fetal. Now, in this twist, we got a lie. So it's just like Fibble that we played earlier. One of these colors is wrong. We don't know which one. I'm wondering if I can bring in the F or the T. Now, this twist is not going to be a very good test of what lied, because in this twist, we only get greens. Yellows will show up gray, which is really unfortunate. So I'm going to try an ALE word just to see if I can catch any of that. But then I have to use an F or a T if I want to stay in hard mode here. What if I guessed elate? I think elate is great because it uses the EAL out of place and it brings in that T and it gives us a higher chance to get a green for the E. Wow. Okay. So none of those were green. We didn't learn a whole lot. This twist, these are incognito tiles. So that means we won't gain any information about whatever we guess here. We won't know the color. So if there's an E, it's gonna probably be here. Sorry, here or here. I'd like to know if there's an E. In fact, I'd like to know if there's an E, L, and A, but I don't know that I can guess another word like that. What should I do? I could omit the L, or I could omit the A. What if I started with L? Let's just come up with a word. I'm just not going to get very much info from this, so I just want to test the LE if I can. Honestly, it might be better if I just test all of the AEL just to see what the lie was. Okay, I'm going to guess ample. I know it can't be, but I just need info, and I need to get as much info as I can from this guess, so we're going to do that. All right, so we know the L's in place here. That's good. We know there's no E, so the E was the lie. We have an A somewhere. We know it's not here because it would have been green. We know it's not here, and obviously it's not here. So the A is probably here. Now this twist, we have to repeat a letter. So this is our opportunity to actually repeat the L here. See if we're like something like rally. Perfect. We got the ALY. Maybe it's something like daily then. This twist, we're going to get alphabetical clues. But of course, the answer was daily. So there we go. That's a good way to finish off our daily games. But of course, we do have Murdle next, so we'll move on to that. All right, let's do Murdle. We're solving a murder mystery here using logic. So, Detective Logico and the case of the touristy spear. All right, once again, Detective Logico arrived late to the scene of the crime, a cruise ship on the Amazon where a traveling heiress has been killed. So here are our suspects: the amazing Aurelin, Officer Copper, Father Mango, and Dean Glaucius. All right, here's our suspects. Our weapons are an ancient anchor, the steering wheel, a fishing spear, and a toxic blowfish. Our locations are the boiler room, the deck, the captain's quarters, and the lifeboat. And our motives are to win an argument, to escape blackmail, to inherit a fortune, and to rage with jealousy. Okay, so each suspect brought one weapon to one location, and then they each had a motive to kill, but only one was a murderer today. Logico massaged his magnificent eyebrows as he examined the evidence. All right, this fingerprint was found on the steering wheel. So, we just got to match up the fingerprint. So Dean Glaucius. Yeah, okay. Dean Glaucius was on the steering wheel. So that location, so this is Dean Glaucius, the blue, and the location was the deck, I'm sure. The deck would have the steering wheel. So Dean Glaucius was on the deck. A suspect clearly planning to inherit a fortune was found outdoors. So we can read more about these. The amazing Erilyn is a touring magician who perfected the whole sawing the husband in two routine. Then she made the body disappear. For her next trick, she's going to need a volunteer. All right. The best part of being a policewoman criminal is that you can fail to investigate your own crimes and cut out the middleman. Father Mango has taken a vow of poverty, but he drives a BMW. He's taken a vow of obedience, but he has a staff of 25. He's taken a vow of chastity too, which is why he's on vacation. Okay. And then Dean Glaucius, the dean of some such and such department at Deduction College. What does he do? Well, he handles the money for one. All right. So which one of these would be planning to inherit a fortune? I'm thinking maybe because she has a husband. So you'd inherit a fortune if you kill your husband. I don't see why the police officer would inherit a fortune. I don't see why Father Mango would inherit a fortune or the dean. So I think that Amazing Erilyn, yellow, was found outdoors. So location-wise, hold on. Is the steering wheel... Do we know where the steering wheel was? The deck. Waterfall up ahead. Okay, oh, indoors, outdoors, indoors, outdoors. So the lifeboat is outdoors. Okay, so that has to be the lifeboat because we know that the wheel was not amazing. So yellow was found outdoors at the lifeboat. Okay, got it. Whoever wanted to win an argument was a Taurus. So who's the Taurus? Father Mango wanted to win an argument. So to win an argument, that's Father Mango. Got it. All right. A touristy spear was discovered behind the captain's desk. So that would be the fishing spear was found behind the captain's desk. So this is the captain's quarters. So here, the spear was in the captain's quarters. A medium weight weapon was found in the lifeboat. So medium weight. So we can look at the weapons and see which ones are medium weight. Heavyweight, medium, medium, light. So it's either going to be the steering wheel or the fishing spear. But we know that the fishing spear was already found here. So the steering wheel is in the lifeboat. So lifeboat, steering wheel. Okay. A messenger from the Fraternal Order of the God gave Logico a note that read, let's decode it. No matter how much you try, the Detective Club decoder ring can't crack this code. Letters are scrambled. Okay. So it's the person who wanted to escape something was on the deck. The person who wanted to escape that's a long word. The Fraternal Order of God. Person who wanted to escape blackmail. There we go. It's one of these to escape blackmail. So the person who wanted to escape blackmail was on the deck. So we've got the deck. Where's the deck? This is the deck, escape blackmail. So the person on the deck wanted to escape blackmail. Do we know who was on the deck? Yeah, so that was Dean Glaucius wanted to escape blackmail. Okay. And do we know what was found on the deck? No, we don't know what was found on the deck. It was either the anchor or the blowfish. We don't know which one. Okay. The person who wanted to rage with jealousy was not in the boiler room. So raging with jealousy was the heart. Okay, so what do we know about the heart? The heart was not in the boiler room. So heart. So if we find boiler room here, boiler room. Oh, here we go. Heart. Wait, where do we locate that? Okay, here's heart and then boiler room. We can X that. Okay. That's all we get. Okay, oh, there we go. Then, with one of his magnificent eyebrows raised, he took the statements of the 4 suspects, knowing the innocent would always tell the truth, while the guilty would always lie. By deducing which of them must be lying, Logico would be able to identify the whodunit. All right. The amazing Erlin. A magician lives by a code. Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. So Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. That could be true, as far as I know. Officer Copper said an ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. So the ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. Don't know. I don't think I know. Father Mango, a toxic blowfish was not on the deck. Father Mango, the toxic blowfish was not on the deck. Yeah, I don't know that either. The steering wheel was not on the deck. The steering wheel was not on the deck. Okay, so we know Dean Glaucius was not the murderer, because he's telling the truth. So that's all I figured out so far. So let's see if there's any contradictions between these three. So if the ancient, so ancient anchor. Let's talk about the deck, or let's talk about the boiler room. The boiler room has to have had the anchor or the toxic blowfish. It had to have one of those two. So let's say Copper was telling the truth, that the ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. Then that would mean it would be here. And then a toxic blowfish not on the deck. They agree with each other, unfortunately. So if they're agreeing with each other, Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. What do we know about Officer Copper? We don't really know anything about Officer Copper. Is there a deduction I wasn't able to mark? So inherit a fortune, rage rich gal. Oh, inherit a fortune was outdoors. Oh, I didn't. When I said inherit a fortune, I tried to just deduce who that would be. That's not going to work. So I marked that one wrong. I didn't realize the person who wanted to inherit a fortune was actually one of these motives. Whoops. So what did I mark there? I thought that was going to be yellow. And I put yellow on the deck. Didn't I? Hold on. Why did I put found outdoors? Right. I put her on the lifeboat because of that. But that's not true. So it was instead inherit a fortune. Inherit a fortune was found outdoors, which is either steering wheel. No, sorry, not steering wheel. Where am I? Where's the location? Okay, inherit a fortune. The location is outdoors. Can't be the deck, so it's the lifeboat. Okay, and then now we can conclude that rage with jealousy was captain's quarters, and win an argument was boiler room. But we know more about win an argument, I'm pretty sure. We know win an argument was Father Mango. So Father Mango was in the captain's quarters, which I think contradicts the statement that Officer Copper was in the... So Amazing Erlyn is the murderer with... Oh, we have to know with what. So we need to figure out where she was, how she did it, but we know it was to inherit a fortune, right? No, we don't. Wait, what do we know about this? So these two are telling the truth. An ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. Okay, so ancient anchor not in the boiler room, so it was here. So we know where they were. So the murder weapon. Okay, what can we cross-reference any of this? Yes. So we know that. What am I saying? Darn it. Ancient anchor. Hold on. Do we know the motive? We don't know the motive. Okay, so the suspect planning to inherit a fortune was found outdoors. Did we do that one? Yeah, we did that one. Let me just go through each of these locations. Boiler room. What do we know about boiler room? It was the toxic blowfish. And the toxic blowfish... What else do we know about toxic blowfish? Nothing. We don't know anything about up here. That's the problem. Okay, how about people we do know a lot about? Father Mango was in the captain's quarters, which means Father Mango with the fishing spear. Okay, so Father Mango had the fishing spear, so that means that we can mark that. Father Mango had the fishing spear. Okay, this is how we're going to do it. Also, Father Mango's motive was to win an argument, so the fishing spear was to win an argument. There we go. Okay. We know that Dean Glaucius was the deck. So the deck and the escape blackmail are related. So deck and escape blackmail. Deck and escape blackmail are related. We have that. What do I not have? Oh, so we know that's related to Dean Glaucius. So Dean Glaucius... What's the weapon? Oh, the weapon on the deck is the anchor. So Dean Glaucius was the anchor. Okay, we're getting there. So what else do we know? Steering wheel was not on the deck. Steering wheel was not on the deck, yes. So Aurelin either used the steering wheel or the toxic blowfish in the boiler room or the lifeboat to inherit a fortune or to rage with jealousy. Oh, we know the fingerprint on the steering wheel. Why did I not mark that? Dean Glaucius used the steering wheel. I have something wrong. Oh no, did I do this whole thing wrong? Why don't I have Dean's on the steering wheel? I put him on the anchor? Why'd I put him on the anchor? Or was I think... Oh no. Yeah, I misunderstood the first two clues. Darn. Okay, I think I can just fix... I put Dean Glaucius in the captain's quarters. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to get rid of all this info. We're going to go through it again. It won't take as long. But I did not realize that some of the info was being lined up with specific clues. I thought we were supposed to deduce more about like where would the steering wheel be, which would be the deck. But the steering wheel was the weapon. And so the steering wheel could be anywhere because it was the weapon. So we know that Dean Glaucius used the steering wheel. That's what we know about that. Yeah, Dean Glaucius used the steering wheel. Inherit a fortune was outdoors. So the inherit a fortune motive. Inherit a fortune motive Where's that with location? Okay. Inherit a fortune motive was outdoors, which means not the boiler room and not the captain's quarters. So it was either deck or lifeboat. Whoever wanted to win an argument was Taurus. I think I had that one right, but who was that? It was Mango, right? Yeah, Mango was Taurus. So Mango wanted to win an argument. Okay. Medium weight weapon was found in lifeboat. So the two medium weight weapons were the steering wheel and the fishing spear, right? Yeah, steering wheel and fishing spear. So lifeboat, sorry, I have to do this again, was not the ancient anchor and was not the blowfish. It was one of these two. This is how we're supposed to mark this. The person who wanted to escape blackmail was on the deck. So escape blackmail on the deck. So escape blackmail was on the deck. There we go. Escape blackmail on the deck. Person who wanted to rage with jealousy was not in the boiler room. So rage with jealousy. So here's locations, motive. Rage with jealousy was the heart, not in the boiler room. There we go. So now this has to be true. This has to be true. This has to be true. Okay, perfect. Now we have these statements. Can we deduce anything else about these? Is there... I don't think so. Not at the moment. Okay, we know Father Mango wanted to win an argument, and the person who wanted to win the argument was in the boiler room. So Father Mango was in the boiler room. Okay. We know that... Okay, what do we know about the boiler room? Father Mango and win an argument. So boiler room... We don't know the weapon, though. Okay. Well, let's read these. A magician lives by the code. Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. So Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. So we don't know if that's true or not. What do we know about Copper? Not much. Okay. Ancient Anchor was not in the boiler room. We know a lot less than we did last time I went through this. Toxic Blowfish, not on the deck. Toxic Blowfish, not on the deck. Steering Wheel, not on the deck. Steering Wheel, not on the deck. So how do we determine who's lying? There must be more I can deduce in here. So the lifeboat, we've learned, is not the ancient anchor or the blowfish. So what do we know about the lifeboat? The lifeboat was to inherit a fortune. So inherit a fortune cannot be the anchor. Okay, so inherit a fortune can also not be these two. That doesn't really help me, does it? When an argument was Father Mango, which was also boiler room. Yeah, okay, I got all that connected. What am I missing about this? Is there some contradiction in here that forces one of them to be correct? Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. What do we know about the captain's quarters? We know almost nothing about the captain's quarters. We know the captain's quarters was to rage with jealousy. So that would mean rage with jealousy would be in the captain's quarters. And that's not true. Oh, okay, so that we just know the amazing Erlen's lying. So if Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters, right? If Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters, then that would mean that he had to be raging with jealousy. But the captain's quarters... Hold on. Why did I think there was a contradiction here? No, that would be fine. So let's just pretend this is true, I guess. I don't know if I want to do this. Okay, if this was true, then Officer Copper being in the captain's quarters would mean that Officer Copper also was raging with jealousy. I'm just going to assume all these are true, and I'm going to find if there's a contradiction. An ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. So ancient anchor, not in the boiler room. What else do we know about boiler room? Boiler room was Father Mango. Okay. And boiler room was also win an argument. So that would all be false. A toxic blowfish was not on the deck. Toxic blowfish not on the deck. I didn't think this would take this long, but when I played it yesterday, it took a lot less time. I did it without recording just to understand the game. Toxic blowfish was not on the deck. So what do we know about the deck? The deck was this motive, so not there either. And then the deck was... We don't know. The deck is either this person or this person. Oh, this person was not the toxic blowfish already. So... I don't know what I can deduce from that. The steering wheel was not on the deck. Steering wheel was not on the deck. One of these is lying is the problem. I don't know. There's some deduction I'm not getting here. There's no undo, is there? Do I need to start over again? Like, I don't understand what's happening here. So, steering wheel not on the deck. Steering wheel not on the deck. So what do we know about the deck? That means steering wheel was not to escape blackmail. So steering wheel was not to escape blackmail. I don't even see a contradiction between their statements. Escape blackmail, we don't know who that was. Dean Glaucius was the steering wheel, so Dean Glaucius could not be then on the deck. So these would be true. The problem is I don't know where my contradiction's coming from. If there is one. Everything seems fine. This isn't the way to do it then? Alright, starting over. What did I miss? This fingerprint. Dean Glaucius used the steering wheel. Wait, why did this not? Okay. Dean Glaucius used the steering wheel. All right. A suspect clearly planning to inherit a fortune was outdoors. So whoever was planning to inherit the fortune was outdoors, meaning not in the boiler room and not in the captain's quarters. Both the deck and the lifeboat were outdoors. Okay. Whoever wanted to win an argument was a Taurus. Just to make sure, suspects, Father Mango was the Taurus, and only Father Mango. Yeah, okay. So Father Mango, this is saying Father Mango wanted to win an argument. So Father Mango wanted to win an argument. A Taurus D spear. So the spear was discovered behind the captain's desk. So this spear was in the captain's quarters. Okay. Medium weight weapon was found on the lifeboat. So medium weight weapon is steering wheel or fishing spear. So steering wheel or fishing spear was found in the lifeboat. So lifeboat was the steering wheel or the fishing spear, but it was not the fishing spear. I think I missed a clue last time. So it had to be the steering wheel. Okay. Yeah, I totally did not have this the second round. Okay. I must have missed storage spear. I must have skipped it. Maybe I should be crossing these out as I do them. All right. The one who wanted to escape blackmail was on the deck. So escape blackmail. So this is the deck, and this is escape blackmail. Okay. That means this is true. All right, so that means the lifeboat was to inherit a fortune. Do we know anything else about lifeboat? Yeah, lifeboat was steering wheel. So steering wheel was to inherit a fortune. Okay, and that means that Dean Glaucius was to inherit a fortune. Nice. Okay. And we know the steering wheel was in the lifeboat. So that means the lifeboat was Dean Glaucius. So we know everything about Dean Glaucius. Perfect. All right. The person who wanted to rage with jealousy was not in the boiler room. So rage with jealousy is this one. No, rage with jealousy is the heart and was not in the boiler room. All right, so that finishes this up. So we know... What do we know about rage with jealousy? We know it's connected to captain's quarters. We know captain's quarters was the spear. So the spear is rage with jealousy. Okay. Do we have any contradictions? Now, Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. That would mean Officer Copper used the spear. So that seems reasonable. The anchor was not in the boiler room. Anchor was not in the boiler room. That seems reasonable. Toxic blowfish was not on the deck. Toxic blowfish, not on the deck. Those don't contradict. Steering wheel was not on the deck. Steering wheel was not on the deck. That is definitely true. So Glaucius is not our murderer. He would know because he had it. And he was not on the deck. He was on the lifeboat. So is there something I don't know about these? Maybe there's more I'm supposed to learn here. Copper was not in the captain's quarters. I feel like this is similar to what I had the first time around. Okay, we know the fishing spear is linked to rage with jealousy and the captain's quarters. Fishing spear, rage with jealousy, captain's quarters. Is the fishing spear linked to anything else? No. I feel like this is the key here. So we know when an argument is related to boiler room. Which is also... Okay, so that means that Father Mango was in the boiler room. Okay. And so now we know that Father Mango is also associated with... With what? Well, what weapon was in the boiler room? Either the ancient anchor or the toxic blowfish, which means Father Mango can't have used the spear. Okay. So if Father Mango did not use the spear, then that means Father Mango was not the heart and was not in the captain's quarters. We knew that. Hold on, captain's quarters. There we go. Okay, yeah. Okay, not in the cabs. Okay, we knew that. All right. There's just not enough info here to fill out the rest, so we need to use these statements now. Unfortunately, this didn't tell me anything. We just know Glaucius is telling the truth. So one of these is lying. Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. If that were true, then Officer Copper. So let's fill that out. I think there's a save button here. Save. Okay. I don't know if that worked. We'll see. So if I do this change and then I recall, yeah, okay, that works. All right. So let's say Officer Copper was not in the boiler room. Hold on, no. Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. Officer Copper. Let's say Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. That would be true, and that would be true. So that would mean that Officer Copper also used what was raging with jealousy. So that would be true, that would be true. And so then that would mean Officer Copper used the fishing spear. Okay. I don't see any contradictions here. We still have some holes in what went where. But then we would say an ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. Ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. So it was in the deck. And then toxic blowfish was not on the deck. Yeah, that works too. And so now we would know that. Let's see, what do we know about the boiler room? Boiler room would have been Father Mango. So then that would mean that Father Mango used the blowfish. Why is this all non-contradictory? We'd have this. Their statements are consistent with lining everything up correctly, as far as I can tell. I don't know how to do this. Ancient anchor was not in the boiler room. Yeah. No, I don't know what I'm missing here. I'm not going to do this a fourth time. There's no other deductions here as far as I can tell. All their statements are consistent. That wasn't very helpful. I can assume they're all true and everything works. So maybe I need to follow their advice and assume one of them's false. So we could say Officer Copper was not in the captain's quarters and see if we run into a contradiction with the other three. If we do, then that means they couldn't have been lying. Okay, so Officer Copper was not in the captain's quarters is what we're going to do. We're going to say this person was lying. So Officer Copper not in the captain's quarters, meaning they were here. And that would mean that the other these two have to be true statements. So Ancient Anchor was not in the boiler room. So we have this and this. And so this is what we're working with. And if this is consistent, then they could be lying. If it's inconsistent, they could not be lying. Okay. So what are we going to check for consistency here? Well, we know Copper was on the deck. So what do we know about the deck? The deck was the anchor. So that would mean Copper used the anchor. And that would mean that Father Mango used the blowfish. So what do we know about the blowfish? The blowfish was in the boiler room. And so then that would mean that Father Mango was in the boiler room. Where's the boiler room? Yeah, Father Mango was in the boiler room. And then win an argument would also be the blowfish. I don't know how to easily tell that we've got, this grid is like almost not helpful. So we should be able to fill these out. So what do we know about escape blackmail? That would be the anchor. So Officer Copper would try to escape blackmail. So this is consistent, which means we can't tell that. If it was inconsistent, then we would know that that could not be the lie. But this could easily be the lie. Amazing Erlen could easily be the lie. Okay, so we go back to here. Officer Copper. So we're going to say the Ancient Anchor was in the boiler room. So if Copper is lying, then the anchor is in the boiler room. And now the toxic blowfish not on the deck. Toxic blowfish not on the deck. That's a contradiction. So Officer Copper cannot be lying. Right. So basically the fact that these two agree with each other means they either have to be both lying or both telling the truth, which means they're both telling the truth. We know Glaucius was also telling the truth, which means Erlen was lying. Okay. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. So if Erlen's lying, then that means that how we just filled the grid, we need to fill it in again. So Erlen was lying. Erlen's is the murderer. Officer Copper was in the captain's quarters. So Officer Copper was not in the captain's quarters, meaning they were on deck. So that's true, that's true. And so then now we also know these two are true. Ancient Anchor was on the deck. So Ancient Anchor was on the deck. Okay, so we know that's true as well. And now we just have to cross-reference all this. So I really just care about what happened with the captain's quarters. So captain's quarters was the fishing spear, and then fishing spear was rage with jealousy. So we're going to say that Amazing Erlen used the fishing spear in the captain's quarters, raging with jealousy. Was he right? There we go. Perfect. All right, I think I understand this game a little bit better, but yeah, that was... I made some horrible mistakes at the start with like trying to make deductions about someone wanting to inherit wealth, and I was like, oh, who would want to inherit a fortune? I tried to like read the bios to figure out who would want to inherit a fortune. That wasn't the right way to go about things. We can fill this out if we want. I don't know if I want to. So who actually wanted to inherit the fortune? Apparently it was Dean Glaucius wanted to inherit the fortune. Okay. So yeah, that wasn't a good deduction to make. All right, cool. Well, those are the games for today. I'm sorry I had to do Murdle like 4 times to get that right. Yeah, I should have realized that the key deduction here was because these two agree with each other, they can't both be lying. And since there's only one liar, they have to be telling the truth. And then Dean Glaucius was definitely telling the truth, meaning Erlen was the lie. Because Erlen was lying, I could use that information to say that Officer Copper was not in the captain's quarters. And that let me fill out the rest. So I think I almost had it right at the start on my first try, and I just didn't quite resolve this properly. Because I think I had figured out that Arlen was lying. I hadn't even had that figured out. So I don't know if like maybe I had made some lucky mistakes on the first one though. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I apologize to the person who requested this because I feel like I didn't do it justice. I might try it again at some other point in time. It does take quite a while. I need to figure out how to read this better. I don't know how to cross-reference these in a way that lets me like fill out the remaining deductions. So if anyone has any tips for that, like is there some obvious way that like cross-referencing this grid allows you to then fill out more? Because like is there something I'm supposed to be able to deduce based on this grid? Like how do we fill out the rest of these? Toxic blowfish. So we know that the toxic blowfish is related to boiler room, and then we know that boiler room is related to Father Mango, so we need to put toxic blowfish there. How would we know that without doing all that work? We also know toxic blowfish. We want to know what motive is related, and so we just look at Mango's motive, and it was win an argument. So I believe this is how it's filled out. All right, anyway. Again, hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.